The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Today, I'm here and thrilled to welcome the one and only Deba Douglas on the Icons of Real Estate podcast. She's the owner of Douglas Dwellings LLC. She has a keen eye for residential and investment properties. Now, Deba has established herself as a trusted name in the housing market, from providing exceptional client experiences to navigating the challenges of real estate with finesse and innovation. Now, Deba exemplifies what it means to be a true leader in the industry. She is not only passionate about matching clients with their dream homes, but also dedicated to sharing insights that inspire and educate others about real estate trends and success strategies. Well, guys, put your hands together and help me welcome the one and only Deba Douglas. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. I need you to go with me everywhere I go to introduce me like that. I'm like, is that what? So thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so honored to be on your show today.
We're definitely honored to have you too. So thank you. We'll dive straight in. Just to your real estate journey and spare no details, please. But just starting off, what inspired you to start Douglas Dwellings, and how has your vision for the company evolved since its inception?
Yeah, so my inspiration were children. And
Oh,
before I
wow.
got into real estate, I was a principal. And so I could see the disparities of the kids that had a lot compared to the kids that didn't have a lot.
Okay.
And a lot of it stems from housing, where
Mm,
some of my kids were, low income housing compared to some that lived in multi-mansions,
mm,
and million-dollar homes. And so I felt that at the time, I felt like I needed to transition out of education. It was not fulfilling anymore. It was more of a burden to me. And I felt like I could help people with housing. And if I could create more housing for people and create it in low income areas, but make the
mm,
house look beautiful as if it was in a predominantly, higher predominantly area, I thought that that could really help the living of that child and the family. And so I decided to start buying rental properties. My husband and I started by buying rental properties. And then I decided that if I became a realtor, I would have more access to these properties
exactly.
and
Yep.
be able to educate more people into home ownership, because that's really how you really increase your wealth. You can't increase your wealth by just working a job. You got to
Mm,
have something that's making money for you in the background while you're still working.
yeah.
And real estate did that. And so quickly after I quit my job, became a realtor. That first year, I sold over 40 houses.
Boom.
As I was selling houses, I
Let's
was
go.
using that to buy more rental properties, because I knew one day the market was going to slow down, but I was building out this funnel that I could really create passive income.
Wow. No, I love how we actually come from the same background. I was a teacher previous as well. So starting off with that mixing into the realtor side, we already have a passion for helping people, and the interpersonal communications, they just really reflect in how we perform as a realtor as well. And just the point of knowing you're in education and you see the different aspects and what's happening, and looking at the board and what's actually put into the education system, real estate isn't taught. So, and if it was taught, you would see a dramatic shift in the world today, which is why we're here as well, sharing our knowledge. So, you come from a good, powerful background where you can most definitely help each other. And one other thing I like as well is that you've actually invested and you've done the knit and grit first, instead of lots of gurus out there just trying to sell you a house, and you're actually, you've walked the walk, so you can actually talk and help on a higher, deeper level. But just in your experience, what sets you apart? What sets apart, say, a successful real estate transaction from a challenging one?
I think it's communication. I think
Hmm.
it's communication. I think it's, as the realtor, I need to focus and listen to my client. I may have my notions of what I assume or my biases of like, well, looking at you, I think you should buy a house this area. I take all those out and I listen to my client based on what my
Hmm.
client needs. Do they need a 3 bedroom? Do they need a 1 story? Whatever they need, and based on the area that they need it for, I literally tell my team we have to do our due diligence to help them find the best product.
Mm.
And I've had transactions that have gone well. I've had transactions that were challenging just for me personally buying properties. And the ones that are challenging, they always stem with lack of information. They always
Mm.
stem from someone held information that I should have been privy to, so I would have been able to make an educated guess. So with my clients, I give them all the information and
Mm.
I say, okay, if you want to buy this property, this is what we're looking at monthly payment. This is what we're looking at as a down payment. Do we feel comfortable with that? Also, if you want to buy this property, this is the commute from you to your job. Is that comfortable for you? Also, how are your kids getting to school? Where are they going to go? Let's really figure out, is this house designed for your livelihood and your lifestyle? Because if it is, then we need to move forward. But if it isn't and we have a little bit of a hesitation,
Hmm.
then we need to, look at that hesitation. Is it worth overcoming to live in this house?
Yeah.
Or do we just say, hey, let's keep looking for the next property that's going to be best for your life?
Okay, no, most definitely. See, it's the communication part. Also, it's like acting as an attorney. If you leave out some details, I can't be able to help you, bro. You got to
Yes,
tell me everything.
absolutely.
So,
And you always hear that saying where I wish I would have known that. You know what? I'm going to give it all to you, and then you decide what you want to pick and choose from the table.
most definitely, but being more educated and using your analyst, if you don't know the details, like when we're going to buy a property, if you can't see the full picture, then we're going off really just instinct instead of hardcore knit and
Yeah,
grit. But as we know, the markets are always changing, and there's economic shift. For example, the election.
yeah.
Um, so just to continue providing value to your clients, how do you navigate the changing markets and trends?
Yeah, so it really depends. If I'm talking to a buyer, that's something we're going to talk about is like, what is the interest rates? What does it look like? Because right now it's really a buyer's market where we can
Hmm.
go in and see a property that may be listed for 500,000. We may be able to offer 450 and they may be willing to give it to us for
Mm.
that. And we get concessions. That's something that we haven't seen in a very long time. So this is ideal for a buyer. Now, a lot of buyers are hesitant because
Mm.
of the election, because of interest rates are higher.
Yeah.
But the interest rates, after some time, they will start to stabilize, they will start to go down. So I tell people, if you can afford the payment based on that interest rate, then we move forward. If you can't, then we look at saving some money to get a lower down payment or getting a higher down payment, or we wait till the interest rates go down, because at the end of the day, real estate is going to be here. A lot of realtors don't like for another realtor to say that because we are
Mm.
always ready for someone to buy something.
Yeah.
But I don't want someone to buy something upside down or feel forced to buy something.
Yeah.
And that's why I created passive income, where if you want to wait 6 months, 8 months to buy a house,
I
I'm
can
cool.
wait. Yeah.
Because I don't need the money this month because I got passive income. And I think by creating my own passive income, it helps me give my clients a better service.
Most definitely. What I like is that it's not because you've done the investing part first and you built that generational wealth and you've got stuck in. You're not like other realtors that would just sell a client anything. You actually take more care. Well, you can take more care because you don't need the sell. So from a
Yeah.
consultative perspective, people will be coming to you more because they know she's not just trying to sell me something. She actually takes the time to analyze my entire situation and you give a helping hand, you know. But just in regards to and I can probably tell that can be quite rewarding and fulfilling when they actually find their dream house. Um, just in regards to say a particularly rewarding or transformative story from your time in real estate, could you share one with us?
Yes, on the realtor side or the investing side?
Any if you pick. We'll go for one each, maybe. Hmm?
Okay. All right. So on the investing side, it was my first deal after becoming a realtor. I had sold a couple of houses and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this property. And it was actually a duplex. And I bought the entire duplex. Both
Hmm.
sides were 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. But they had like 2 living rooms. So I
Okay.
decided to close off one of the living rooms
Yep.
and put a closet in there and put a door. It already had a window. And so now I've created 3 bedrooms, one and a
Yes.
half there was one of the units I was able to extend the bathroom that was a half and
Mhm.
actually added a full standing up shower. So now I have 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. So that changed literally the value of the house. I
Most
bought the
definitely.
duplex for 197 or so. I put about 30 grand in it on both sides to rehab. And then when it was time to do my cash out refinance to get my money back out of the deal, it appraised for $450,000.
Wow. See, guys, it's the
So
power. Does you basically build a house for free?
literally bought the house for free. I got all the money I put into the deal, and now I'm cash flowing over $2,000 a month for this property because I saw a need of creating a room, adding a bathroom, and added value to what was already there.
See, no, most definitely. See, guys, so just in regards to the numbers, run them again. So purchase price was 197. We have a development cost of 30 grand. So we're
Hmm.
all in roughly around 227. Am I correct?
Hmm.
Yep. And
Yes.
we refinance at 400. So we've got a house for free and we have cash to now play with. And that
Yeah.
house was you renting it out after? So it's created a
Yeah.
cash flow. So we've got the refinance, our cash out, we've got an asset, and we have cash flow. Wow, tremendous.
Yeah.
That's all in regards to the knowledge. So
Yeah.
people will definitely, so audience, if you want the knowledge to do that, this is why we're here today. They can reach out, and I know Deb will most definitely be open to sharing her wisdom. But wow, that was a very, very successful transaction there. That's investing side. In regards to realty side, could you tell us a story of your
Yes.
house?
So there was a lady that reached out to me. Originally, she wanted to find a rental property. And so as I'm talking to her, trying to figure out her criteria, how much she wanted to spend a month,
Mhm,
I realized that she wanted to spend the same amount of money that she could buy a house and get a mortgage.
mhm,
And so as I'm talking to her, I said, "Well, have you ever considered of just buying a house?" And she was like, "Oh no, people like me don't buy houses."
mhm,
Well, I'm an underdog type of person, and I'm a person that, like, when someone says no, I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna find a way to get around that."
mhm,
So I started talking to her about, well, let's just entertain, if you could buy a house, what would it look like?
mhm,
And so I had her come up with a vision of what her house would look like.
mhm,
And I was able to find her a house. And I told her, like, you were going to put a deposit down and pay your first month's rent. That's close to almost $5,000 because she was ready to buy, do a rental property for $2,500. So I'm like, that's $5,000. We
mhm,
have down payment assistance. So you could very well move into this house with the same $5,000 that you were going to put as a down deposit and a first month's rent. And so I was able to get her connected with my lender. We were able to work things out. And sure enough, within about 2 months, she was now able to buy her house. That is her house. She's now able to build equity. She was able to fire her landlord only because I just
Woo!
kind of probed and told her, you can be a homeowner. It's for everyone. You just got to believe that you deserve it.
No, that's tremendous stories. It's just words of wisdom and a little push of encouragement. A lot of people are scared to jump nowadays, but when you're scared to jump, that's when you should jump, guys.
Absolutely.
Go to the gurus, go to the mentors, and reach out. But she's very. I know she's probably very lucky to have someone like you, and all of our audience will do. But just because I'm short for time, just what advice would you give to an aspiring real estate professional looking to make their mark into this industry?
Yeah. Go with your gut. Do what feels natural for you. I'm not one to knock on doors. I'm not one to do a lot of cold calling, but I am one to build personal relationships with people. And if I get you in front of me, I'm going to love on you, encourage you, and I'm going to tell you you can do anything. So find whatever your natural niche is of who you are,
Mhm,
and the real estate will come. And be willing to do stuff for free. I think that's the biggest thing with realtors. I think it's just going to be this beautiful reality show. It's
yeah,
not. It's going to be hard. But get in front of other realtors that are successful. Ask them if they need help because they all need help. And ask them what you can do to give them value. And they would appreciate that so greatly that they will give you crumbs and they will give you gems and tips that will help you change your real estate business.
most definitely. Like we always say, if you give, it will come back 10x. You just got to be willing to go out there, go above and beyond, see what the other realtors are doing, duplicate, but duplicate and add your own spice to it. Find yourself, be yourself, and come from a place of just serving.
Yeah.
And hit up Deba, guys. Hit up Deba. She'll give you all the information you need. Just in regards to that, we've touched on so many different stories, your vision, experience. But where do you go from here now? What are your goals moving forward?
Yes, my goal is to expand my team. And as I'm expanding my team, I want to educate my team members on, yes, I want you to make a lot of money doing realtor transactions, but I also want you to think about 10 years from now, where are you going to be? So let's buy some rental properties that you have some money that's just making money for you in the background. And I think most realtors, you're too close to real estate not to be a real estate investor. You know
Mm,
too much. You have too many of the resources. You
amen.
have to become a real estate investor. You cannot retire being just a realtor. So it's just really tap into it. Like it's a great avenue. It's great flexibility, but you got to do the work.
Oh wow, guys, words of wisdom from Deba. But now one last fun question. Well, as you probably know, the Icons of Real Estate Podcast Network, we're passionate about making podcasting accessible for all. Now, I can tell you're already going this direction, but if you had your own podcast, what would you call it? It's a fun question.
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh. The first word that comes to my mouth is, or comes to my mind is jump. That would be my podcast title. Just jump. Just do
Boom.
it.
A tremendous jump. So, guys, hopefully we'll hear from Jump soon. But no, Ethan Thomas and Deba Douglas are over and out. Thank you for another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Until next time, guys, see you soon.